Hello, YouTube peoples. Cock that up, didn't I? Don't know what I'm saying. Engine. Yeah, so this week the engine's out, obviously. Well, it was. It's not now. Service it. Good service. Flush it through with flushy stuff. And get the new beds back in. Ready for the engine to go in. I've lost this, haven't I? Completely lost this. Roll intro. Well, hello. I'm just starting on the beds, cleaning them up, and the mounts. So this one's near enough cleaned off. As you can see, they've put some kind of, I don't know if that's just bilge paint, and then they've put the beds on top. But on top of the, that's probably a bit thicker than what was on there. But there's sort of a skin of rusted metal across the top of it as well that I've got to try and scrape off. So although this one looks similar, there's actually a load of metal on top of the white paint, which is on top of the bed. So just faffing about with it with chisel, trying to get it all off. So that's where I'm up to. And then I've switched the automatic bilge pump off, and I've got some eco-friendly washing up liquid, but my intention is to not let any of this go into the sea. So what I'll do is I'll clean it all down, and then I'll hang a bucket off the stern to where the bilge pump exits, the manual one, and I'll manually pump it out into the bucket and then put it in the waste oil thing, so that none of this scum goes into the sea. Yeah, I probably won't film much of it because it's just me faffing about, which is what I always do. Sweet. Engine. So she's out, and I've put her inside this tarp. It's got no holes in or anything, so it's effectively like a pond liner. I'm going to degrease her with a toothbrush and just clean it off and stuff like that. Eventually, I mean, there's a bit of oil seepage around here and stuff, but I think that might be the head gasket. I can't afford a new gasket set. It's 100 odd quid, and I've only got about 600 quid left in my name, so I won't be buying one of them. But I am going to strip it down and paint it and everything at some point in the future, so I'm just giving it a quick clean now so I can see what everything's all about. Ignore the grass, it came off the tarp. So yeah, that is Das Project. It looks no different. Bit of advice for you. Don't put your head down into an area where you just sprayed loads of alcohol. Oh, actually do put your head down into an area where you just sprayed loads of alcohol. It was a cheap high. Well, no. It's actually about £9 a bottle. Better off with wine. And she looks exactly the same. Or it does to me anyway. I don't know if it does to you guys, but so going over it, there is obviously bits of surface rust on the block and stuff, but we're not bothered about that. Bits of scabby paint, but we're not bothered about that because I am going to paint it eventually. Things like these fuel lines have got bits of surface rust on, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm thinking about putting a bit of drying it off properly when it's back in and pouring some lithium grease on it or something like that, just in the parts where water can collect. Not that there should be any water, but I think it might be far enough away from the block that it won't melt, but I don't know. But yeah, obviously, I didn't really explain this. So I need to get underneath the engine, so I'll tie around this, lift up the block, secure it with the lifting doohickey to the underside of here, and then I can get underneath and all around and all the rest of it. But I got to most of the, you can't see it from there, most of the gearbox and stuff, so it's not looking too bad. Like I say, none of this is anything to worry about. Yeah, that's my engine. Now I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the bolt out without having to move this pipe, because that'll be a job. Nope. Hold on. That pipe's gone, isn't it? Yep, that was knackered. So as you can see, there's a slight build-up of scale in there, but not too bad. But inside of that pipe, lots of scale. So I'll replace those two pipes. They wanted doing. I was hoping to get away with it, but after seeing that, I'll go to the local swindlery and see if they've got some. I'll get this cleaned off now and get the old one back in. Well, that's new. I've took the pipe off. As you can see, it is completely blocked. So that's the bypass, block bypass. So it's probably why the impeller was so knackered, because obviously when the engine's cool, the thermostat would be closed and it wasn't able to bypass that pressure, so it was having to force the thermostat open, which is probably why it is stuck open like that, because it's never been able to close when the engine's running. That's the new one. When the pressure builds on there, it opens a little end. I'm assuming that little hole, if I orientate that right to go inside the doohickey, then that'll allow bypass through that hole. I don't know. You fool! It's so that the air can get out of the block and be replaced by the water before the thermostat opens. Bloody idiot. Carry on. I'll do it that way around anyway. But looks like I'm taking that pipe off as well and then trying to sort that fitting out. Fun and games. Engine. My auntie and uncle are here, so my uncle's just helped me lift it up, get it off the ground. I've just degreased all underneath it. Next job, new pipes. Stick those on. Once I've done that, I will hook up a pump and some pipes and do an engine flush. I'm not going to film it because I've not got time, so I'll just show you when it's all set up and explain what I'm doing. Grand. And we're back. This is the incredibly janky setup that I've got. Pump that Conrad gave me, thank you very much. ACL pressure washers. Takes in from the bucket through up to the little block connector there, not through the raw water pump. From there is a bypass pipe, but there's a restriction to flow where the thermometer should be, so thermostat, sorry, so it should prioritize going through the block. If I lose a bit of pressure going through there, it's all right, and that'll come out and around here to this pipe over here, which will go back into the bucket. No doubt as soon as I turn the pump on, which I have to do inside, those pipes will come out of the bucket, completely wet me through, and it'll be chaos. Where am I? Yeah, and then anyway, pro flush I've got. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. See how it goes. Switch to this so I can show you the crud coming out of it. So it's doing its job. I've got another litre of this. I'm hoping that I don't need more than 2. Well, it's only having 2, so... Ah, she looks like she's working. Leave her running now. I'll just show you that, and then come inside where it's a bit quieter. Can I hold it like that? I don't know if... I can't see what you can see. So yeah, it's gone brown, so... that means all of that pink stuff has reacted near enough. There's still some bubbles and signs of reactivity on the surface, and it's still a sulphurous smell, so I'll just keep it running like that for a little bit to make sure everything's reacted off, and then probably change the water, maybe put the other bottle in, or half a bottle. I may as well just put the full bottle in and see what happens. Yeah, it's going well. Time to have a sit down. Yeah. Oh, welcome back. I have new plates. So, there they are made up. He's marked them up, port and starboard, even though I pointed the wrong way around. And you can see I've got him to put some extra holes in the centre of the 2 mounts. Those are the spacings for the mounts, and some extra holes in. These holes were blocked at the back. I've got him to put them in just in case I can get something right down there at the back. I've got some galvanised ujimadangas and some smaller galvanised ujimadangas for the back where the wood is thinner, and you can see that everything's not in line. It's not all on centre line. So what I've got him to do is replicate the angles between everything so that I can use the original holes to get the alignment right, in theory. I've got a bit of play anyway. And then these will sit on those holes like yon. And you can see that this here is a K75, so that's a 75 kilo mount, so they actually go on the back, which is technically the front of the engine, to carry the extra weight of the gearbox, and then the 50s go on the front. So yeah, next job is fit them. Et voila. I've just put the old fasteners in to locate them. That one's not even got a head on it. Well, what old fasteners I had, because a lot of them I had to grind out. So what I'm going to do now is the extra holes that I've had drilled, like these ones, which sit directly underneath the mounts, so it's where it needs its most strength. I'll drill them out with a 5mm drill bit to the correct length and get the new bolts in. I'm concerned they're a little bit skinny, but we'll see. If all else fails, I'll just row. Why are you wobbling? Be right back. You know how things don't go right? This didn't go right. Yeah, so that's awkward. The rest of it is in there, which is super. I'll get a way around that. The problem I've got is that I don't have enough of the old fasteners, which are bigger than the new fasteners, so the original holes the new fasteners won't go into because they're smaller. So I've had to order some bigger fasteners. These are just what the shipwright had lying around that he's given me, so I've ordered some bigger ones because I mean, this would probably be alright. I've got one big old one there, a new one, and then another new one in between the actual mounts, so that will probably be okay. This one I've got old one that's decent. I've now not got one in there, so I need to rectify that. I may end up drilling next to it or whatever. This is an old hole, so I can't get a fix in that, and then two new ones there, and that, is it that one? Yeah, that's an old hole as well, so I need a bigger screw for that. I definitely want another one in there underneath that mount, which will go there, so I'll need to get another couple in there. I'm not happy with the amount that's in. Yeah, so I also found a pool of seawater under there after I've been doing some drilling, and I thought, oh my god, I've drilled through, gone through the hole, water's coming down and through the other side of this wood down to there. Anyway, it turns out I just knocked the water pipe, I think, because I've cleaned it up and no more's come back, so good enough for me. Yeah, so now I've got to wait for parts. The story of my life. Okay, quick update. New beds are in. Unfortunately, he's drilled that hole for that bolt in the wrong place, which is failing the mount, so I'm gonna have to drill another hole in between there and take that bolt out so the mount will not foul. I've just rubbed some grease all over it just to keep the water off, and then hopefully the engine can go back in and get into my cockpit again. There's something else with the engine, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, said problem. This, as you can see, it's rusted all to hell, particularly thin there. So I've ordered the part. Remember that rusty thing, the gear change thing on the back from a few seconds ago? Do you remember? It's staying as it is. It's so corroded to the shaft that it's a can of worms. I don't know if I told you, but one of my subscribers is donating to me an outboard that I'm going to put on the back, so I will use that in the when mooring and stuff like that. I'll warm this engine up first just in case I need it, and then I'll use it for long distance stuff. Then if it does snap, doesn't really matter, I can just change it by hand. Yeah, so sod it. I'm going to change the oil with this scary looking thing. I don't need to film that. I'm going to stick it in there, I'm going to suck the oil out, I'm going to put it in a plastic thing, and then I'm going to change that filter there. It's quite a good pointing stick, this. Yeah, so that's my next job. As you can see, the mounts are on and ready to go. I don't know if they're on right, but they're on how they're going. And I'm hopefully going to get the engine dropped in today. Yeah, probably not be able to show it you either, because here, look out there for a minute instead while I'm waffling. Probably not going to be able to show it for you because I'm rigging up a block and tackle again, but I'm going to get the shipwright person to give me a lift getting it in, then I don't bash anything, so I won't be able to film it. So hopefully next time you see it, it'll be in. Of course it will. Right. Excuse-moi. I got it out with the dipstick hole. That looks about right, 1.2 litres. Only got a few little bits. I don't know how I managed to get oil over here when I'm doing stuff over there, but you know. Right, filter next, and then fill her up. Hey, voila. I obviously used the correct tool for the removal of the old oil filter. If you know, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a litre of oil in. I think it takes 1.2, but I'll put a litre in because I don't know how much residual oil's in there. Let it sit. I'll probably put it back in and let it sit there for a while, then top up if needs be. But yeah, it's another one off the list. So as you can see, it's all ready for it to go back in. Or it was at the end of the video, which was filmed 2 weeks ago. The engine's actually in now. And running, but that'll be in another video. As I sit here, the boat is ready. Or 99.9%. There's a couple of little stupid snaggly little bits to do. But effectively, I should be okay to go with about a week to spare. So I've got a week to learn sailing. That should be exciting, shouldn't it? I'm probably going to head back all in one go. I think I might stop off at Falmouth, and then let's see what the weather's doing. But you know, I'll have three weeks worth of food on board, and easily enough water, so I'll just bob around out there until I get there. I'm not really in a rush. I've got a Facebook group. If you're into that stuff, you can join it. I'll put a link in the comments or description or something. We're getting close, which is either good or bad. I don't know. So yeah, join me next week. No, I won't be setting off next week when you see it. Maybe next week when the patrons see it. Grand. Auf Wiedersehen.